Okay. To start with, we have alkanes. So if you recall, last week we discussed na yung alkanes are considered as hydrocarbons made up of carbon and hydrogen atoms, pwedeng carbon to carbon bond or carbon to hydrogen bond. And then alkanes that contain chains of carbon atoms that but have no rings are considered as acyclic alkanes. And these acyclic alkanes, they have the general formula CnH2n plus 2. So example, kung halimbawa, tanungin kayo, how many hydrogen atoms ang meron sa 8 carbon alkane? Hindi nyo na kailangan mag-draw ng complete structure para malaman nyo yung ilang hydrogen atoms yung nasa alkane. You just have to follow this general formula. So if example, ang given is 8 carbon atoms, ang tanong ay how many hydrogen atoms dun sa alkane? So you have C8 and then ilan yung hydrogen? 2n plus 2. So 2 times 8 is 10, 2 times 8 is 16 plus 2. You have 18 hydrogen atoms. So you just have to follow the general formula. Okay po? And then, aside from that, yung acyclic alkanes are called saturated alkanes because they have the maximum number of hydrogen atoms per carbon atom. So, saturated siya kasi ang dami niyang hydrogen. Unlike yung kapag, if you remember yung discussion natin last week, once may present na double bond, nag-decrease yung hydrogen na kaya ma-accommodate ng carbon. Okay? But always remember, alkanes would be saturated alkanes. Okay? Kasi pag nag-alkenes na, yung double bonds, nagkakaroon ng unsaturation. Okay? Para rin siyang saturated fat and unsaturated fatty acids. Okay? And then, another type of alkane is cycloalkane. So when we say cycloalkanes, they contain carbon atoms joined in one or more rings. So ang example dito ay yung cyclohexane. So later malaman nyo bakit cyclohexane, bakit may cyclopentane yung tawag. Okay? And then, unlike yung general formula ng acyclic alkane, the general formula for cycloalkane would be CnH2n. Okay, as you can see, since may present na ring or naka-ring yung cycloalkane, less yung hydrogen atoms niya compared sa acyclic alkane. So example, if we have here cyclohexane, so from the name itself, hexane meaning may 6 na carbon. So if you have 6 carbon atoms, ilan yung hydrogen? 2 times 6 would be 12. Okay, so you have C6H12 for cyclohexane, yung molecular formula. Okay, so for practice, and don't forget that all alkane molecules have names that end in the suffix ane. So I have discussed it last week na nakadepende sa yung suffix ng compound, nakadepende siya dun sa functional group kung saan naka-classify yung compound. Okay, so for problem 12.1 on page 426, you have to determine the number of hydrogen atoms present in the compound. So for letter A, acyclic alkane with 3 carbons. Remember, acyclic alkane, ang general formula is CnH2n plus 2. Okay, so kung merong 3 carbon atoms, so you have C3, and then ang carbon atoms is 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2, you have 8 hydrogen atoms. Okay, and then for cycloalkane, again, ang general formula is CnH2n. So if you have 4 carbon ring, 4 times 2 is 8, you still have 8 hydrogen atoms here. And then for a cycloalkane with 9 carbons, still CnH2n. So 9 times 2, you have 18 hydrogen atoms. For an acyclic alkane with 7 carbons, so CnH2n plus 2, edi 7 times 2, you have 14 plus 2, 16 hydrogen atoms. Okay po. Baka may easy ang org chem. Question po. Okay, so let's begin discussing yung acyclic alkanes having fewer than 5 carbons. Actually, yun namang mga prefix, yung halimbawa, if you will remember yung example ko last week na may methanol, merong ethanol, yung mga prefix na ginagamit na ina-attach dun sa suffix or yung suffix ng functional group, ang ilalagay doon ay same lang din for all functional groups. Okay, example, yung meth, etong meth na yan, it is for one carbon compound. Kaya yung alkane, di ba yung, remember, yung suffix ng alkane ay ane. So, attach the prefix na meth, tapos yung suffix na ane, you have methane. So, ibig sabihin yun yung alkane na one carbon atom lang. Okay? If you compare naman yan sa alcohol, yung one carbon alcohol ay methanol. Okay? Tapos yung ethanol, kasi yung a two carbon alkane is ethane. So, ang prefix dyan ay ETH. Kaya pagka alcohol yan, ethanol. Okay? And ang most common dyan na example is yung isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol, yung prop kasi, PROP is for 3 carbon compound. Okay? So, isopropyl alcohol, meaning yung alcohol na yun, may 3 carbon atoms. Okay po? So, ano lang yan? Constant yan for the functional groups. Yung mga prefixes na yan. Okay? So, going back, methane is a 1 carbon alkane. And then, you have here ethane, a 2 carbon alkane. Tapos, yung propane is a 3 carbon alkane. As you can see, yung propane, in any 3 carbon atom or 3 carbon molecule, dalawa yung possible na structure. So, pwede siyang naka-straight lang na ganyan or pwedeng meron siyang bend din sa kanyang structure. Okay? But don't forget na yung mga bend, itong bend na to sa structure na yan, it will not be affecting yung name ng compound. Okay? Kasi later, I will be showing you examples na kapag merong branching chain, nag-iiba na yung name ng compound. Okay? So, this is not a branch, bend lang siya. Okay? Mamaya, makikita nyo na merong ibang compound na may bend pa, may branching chain. Okay? So, always remember, kapag propane, 3 carbon alkane, and it can be represented yung as a straight chain or pwedeng bent chain. Okay? And then the bends in the carbon chain for propane will not matter when it comes to identifying different compounds. And then for the next one, we have butane. So yung butane, I know you're familiar with this one. Ito yung sa pinang-aapoy sa mga yung mga marshmallows sa mga social na restaurant. So yan yun. Okay? So yung butane is a 4 carbon alkane. And as you can see, unlike yung propane, na dalawa yung pwedeng structure, yung isa ay straight chain, yung isa naman ay bent. Yung butane can have also two structures. Yung isa ay straight chain, yung isa naman ay may branching chain. Okay? Yung straight chain is called butane, and then maybe yung may branch na chain is isobutane. Okay? But don't worry, for this class, yung general chemistry, we will not be dealing with isobutane. Most likely, dun tayo sa mga straight chain. Okay? Kasi yung later, you will learn ano po yung ibang name ng isobutane. Okay? But for your information, hindi nyo kailangan malaman kung bakit siya isobutane for now. So when you take organic chemistry siguro sa college, malaman nyo bakit siya isobutane. Okay? So as you can see dito, if we go back dun sa propane, diba ito ay straight chain, ito naman ay bent chain. Wala silang difference in terms of naming, in terms of yung mga bonds, yung mga bond location. Unlike yung butane and isobutane, they are both 4 carbon compounds, 4 carbon atom compound. However, dun sa isa, dito sa butane, iba yung bond location niya compared dun sa isobutane. So dito, yan yung 4 carbon atoms magkakakonekta. Pero in terms of this isobutane, yung isang carbon atom is branched from another carbon atom. Okay? So, always remember na habang dumadami yung carbon atoms, mas dumadami yung possible na configuration or possible arrangement ng atoms. When we encounter these molecules, we call them as isomers. Okay? When we say isomers, these are compounds which has the same molecular formula. Okay? I-recall ko ano yung molecular formula from Gen Chem 1. So if we go back to this slide, di ba yung this is not a molecular formula. This is a condensed formula. Okay, ang molecular formula is the summary of all the elements in the compound as well as the number of atoms. So kung sa butane, ang molecular formula niyan, ilan ba yung carbon? You have 4 carbons. And then, yung hydrogen atoms, ilan? You would have 10 hydrogen atoms. Okay? And then, if you will compare it sa isobutane, you still have 4 carbon atoms, tapos 10 pa rin yung hydrogen atoms. So this is how isomers work. They are of the same molecular formula pero different yung kanilang connection or different yung bond pattern sila or bond locations. That is what you call constitutional isomers. Specific na. Okay? Generally, isomers, they have the same molecular formula. Okay? Pero kung specific ang pinag-uusapan, kung same molecular formula tapos different in bond location or different on how they are connected with each other, they are called constitutional isomers. Kasi in higher chem or higher organic chemistry class, meron pang structural isomers. For now, we will be discussing constitutional isomers. Okay po. So, yung constitutional isomers, ano bang example? You have here yung ethanol at saka dimethyl ether. As going back muna sa butane, di ba, these two, yung butane at saka isobutane, they are belonging to the same functional group, which is alkane. Okay, or the same type of compound, type of organic compound. Pero there are also cases na yung constitutional isomers can also belong to different functional groups, such as this example, yung ethanol at saka dimethyl ether. Okay? So why are they constitutional isomers? You have to see the molecular formula. So in this case, sa ethanol, you have here ethanol, you have two hydrogen atoms. Wait lang, nagkahanga naman yung PowerPoint. Okay, so in this case, yung ethanol, you have 2 hydrogen atoms, 2 carbon atoms, and then, wait lang, nalobat ko yung pencil ko. Okay, so you have here 2 carbon atoms, and then how many hydrogen atoms? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tapos isang oxygen molecule. Okay, yun yung kanyang molecular formula. Always remember na mag-iba po ang molecular formula sa condensed formula. Okay? And then for dimethyl ether, as you can see, 2 carbon atoms, you still have 6 hydrogen atoms and then 1 oxygen atom. So in that case, you will have here 2 compounds with the same molecular formula but different in the bond location and also yung arrangement ng atom. So that is what you call constitutional isomers. Okay? And then for practice problem 12.1 on page 429, you have to determine if these compounds are constitutional isomers of each other or if they are not constitutional isomers. So yung una, if you will look at the left side, you have a 4 carbon molecule. So yung molecular formula nito is C4. And then how many hydrogen atoms? You have 10. Okay? And then the other one, you have 3 carbon atoms and then 7, 3, 6, 8 pala. C3H8. Okay? So these are not constitutional isomers. Okay? Kasi hindi sila same ng molecular formula. And then for the next one, so you have here 3 carbon atom ulit. Tapos ang hydrogen, you have 7, you have 8, and then 1 oxygen atom. The next one, you have here 3 carbon atoms, and then 8 din hydrogen atoms, and 1 oxygen atom. So this is a constitutional isomer. Okay, again, ang constitutional isomer po ay same molecular formula but they differ in terms of how they are connected to each other or how atoms are connected to each other. Okay? And then another example is this one. So you have here a cyclic alkane. So dito, how many carbon atoms? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, ilan yung hydrogen atoms? So, since this is a cyclic alkane, how many hydrogen atoms do you have? So, you have 12. Okay? And then, for this one, yung pentagon, so dito, ang pentagon, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, another carbon here, so C, 6. Okay? And then, yung hydrogen atom naman, you have here 3, tapos 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So C6H12. That is why they are constitutional isomers. Although, hindi kasi pwedeng sa structure lang nakabase. Kaya niyan, isa ay hexagon, yung isa ay pentagon. Pero if you will look at the molecular formula, they are constitutional isomers. Okay po, baka may question so far? Okay, so for the next one, yun namang next would be a cyclic alkanes having 5 or more carbons. So, di ba kayo na-discuss ko na as the number of carbon atoms increases, marami ring possible na isomers. Kanina, yung butane, merong isang isomer, yung isobutane. And then, yung pentane naman, ang kagandahan naman dun sa cyclic alkanes with 5 or more carbon atoms, kung ano yung ginagamit niya sa mga polygons, yun din yung gagamitin sa mga functional groups. Plus yung suffix. So example, kapag 5 carbon atom, pentane, and then you have hexane, heptane, octane, and so on. Okay? So, yung pentane is a 5 carbon alkane, and as you can see, nag-increase yung number ng carbon, kaya mag-i-increase din yung number ng isomers. Ano ba yung isomers ng pentane? You have here isopentane and neopentane. Okay? So mamaya malalaman niyo bakit mga 2-methylbutane, bakit may dimethylpropane yung mga names. Pero again, hindi niyo kailangang i-memorize yung isomers ng ng different alkanes kasi hindi pa naman siya kailangan. Okay? So example, I think this is in your book. Which of the following is not another representation for isopentane? By the way, again, yung isomers should be branched. Okay, hindi siya yung straight chain lang or hindi pwedeng nakabend lang. Kailangan, when you count the total number of molecules, same din sila with pentane, pero branched yung isomer. Okay, yung may iso sa pangalan, yung isopentane. Okay, so in this example, how many carbon atoms do you have? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, as you can see, naka-branch ng isa. Therefore, this is a representation ng isopentane. Okay? And then, another one. So, as you can see, dito, how many carbon atoms? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Paano nyo malalamang naka-branch? If you will observe here, malalaman nyo mamaya kung bakit yung nakaliko yung pinili ko na chain. Okay? So, as you can see, merong isang naka-branch sa kanya na carbon. So, this is a representation ng isopentane. Later po sa naming, I will explain kung bakit yung nakaliko na path yung pinili. Okay? And then, next one, so you have here a condensed formula. So, if you draw the skeletal structure of this one, shortcut ko na. Ako lang po ang pwede mag-shortcut. Pero pag kayo, kailangan magkakahiwalay pati CH. Okay? So, as you can see, ito yung chain niya. Ayan. Tapos ito, naka-branch lang. So, this is another representation ng isopentane. Okay po. And then, for the next example, you still have to determine if this is a representation ng isopentane. So, ito naman, as you can see, ito yung chain niya, yung carbon. Nakabend lang siya, yung sinasabi ko kayo na nakabend. So, kung nakabend lang naman siya, hindi siya representation ng isopentane kasi wala siyang branching carbon atoms. Okay po, baka may question. Okay. And then as I was saying earlier, kung paano yung pangalan ng polygon, ganoon lang din magpangalan ng alkanes. yung gagamitin lang yung prefix ng polygon. So you have hexane, heptane, octane, nonane, and decane. Okay? And then, we can also, using these structures or this formula, we can also classify yung carbon into primary carbons, primary carbon, secondary carbon, tertiary carbon, and quaternary carbon. So, ang primary carbon is bonded to one carbon only, one other carbon atom. For secondary carbon, it is bonded to two, and then tertiary, three, ang quaternary ay four. Easy. So, ano ba example? So, yun dito sa primary carbon, nakaband siya sa isang carbon atom lang. For a secondary carbon, bonded to two carbon atoms. For tertiary carbon, you have three carbon atoms. For quaternary, you have four carbon atoms. Okay po? So, if we have this example, so, itong first one is a primary carbon. You have a secondary carbon, a tertiary carbon, a quaternary carbon, another primary carbon. Kalimitan yung mga branch nung main chain, hindi na siya kinaklasify as primary or secondary. Yung main chain lang yung kinaklasify kung primary, secondary, tertiary or quaternary. So later you will learn bakit yun lang yung name or bakit lang yun lang yung classify. Okay? So let's work on some examples. This is in your book. Hindi ko lang alam kung anong page. Hindi naman lang maglagay ng page. Okay, so you have to classify the carbon atoms in each compound as primary, secondary, and tertiary and quaternary. Okay, so for the first example, this one is a primary carbon kasi isang carbon lang yung naka-attach sa kanya. Itong dalawa is a secondary carbon, and then this one is another primary carbon. Okay? And then for this condensed formula, if you recall, itong tatlong carbon atoms na to, nakaband siya sa isang carbon. But if you look at them independently, they are primary carbons. Kasi if you draw the complete structure ng molecule, you will be able to observe that these carbon molecules are bonded to only one carbon atom. Okay? And then, this one, the other carbon atom, ito, nakaband siya sa tatlong carbon atom. That's why this is a tertiary carbon. Okay, so kung medyo nalilito kayo, i-form nyo yung complete structure ng formula para makita nyo na tertiary carbon siya. Okay? And then for the next example, so as you can see here, yung leftmost carbon, this is a primary carbon. And then this one is a tertiary carbon kasi tatlong carbon atom yung nakabond sa kanya. This one is a secondary carbon and this is a primary carbon. Okay po. And then for this last example, so you have here a primary carbon, this one is a quaternary carbon, and then this one is a primary carbon. Baka po may question so far. Kung wala pong question, I will proceed with the discussion. So last time also, I also introduced yung line formula or yung skeletal formula. And you will observe na yung some skeletal formula, bakit mga zigzag sila na ganyan. Diba if you recall, every corner or every end ng line is a carbon atom. So in this example, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon atoms. Yung line formula na yan, hindi lang yan para mabilang yung carbon atoms, but also to show na merong rotation yung bonds. Okay, so if this is a ball and stick model, yun yung ball and stick model, so pwede silang may rotation. And remember, atoms rotate to ensure that they are farthest away from other atoms to prevent repulsion. Yung dun sa BSEPR, yung valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Okay? So yun yung reason kung bakit merong line formula na every corner nagre-represent ng carbon atom kasi possible na merong rotation. Okay? So here's an example of the skeletal structure following this of alkanes which follow the same zigzag pattern. So as you can see, sa complete structure niya, you have 4 carbon atoms. Kahit hindi siya naka-zigzag pagka complete structure. Pero pag line structure, syempre, common sense, hindi pwedeng straight line lang siya. In the first place, you will not be able to count how many carbon atoms. So yun pa yung isang reason kung bakit zigzag din yung pattern. Aside from rotation, conventionally, mas madali ibilangan yung carbon atoms ng zigzag pattern. Okay? So for an example, convert the complete structure into a skeletal structure. So you have here 5 carbon atoms. Ang technique lang dyan sa orgchem, ang common misconception kasi, di ba recall yung ating discussion last week, every end ng line, every junction represent a carbon atom. So once na mag-dot yung pen ninyo sa paper, yun na yung first carbon. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yung iba kasi ang ginagawa, pagkasulat ng isa, yun yung carbon 1. Tapos 2, 3, 4, 5. Yun yung ginagawa. Pero recall, pag binilang nyo itong pangalawang structure na to, hindi 5 yung carbons niya. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So, kailangan yung carbon 1, once na mag-touch yung papel, yung pen ninyo dun sa papel ninyo, yun na yung carbon 1. Okay? In that case, ito yan. Okay, yung 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, don't forget. Yun yung kalimitang nagkakamali sa orgchem. Okay? Next one. So, next example. Another thing, kalimitan, inuuna namin yung mga straight chain para hindi masyadong nakakalito. So, in this case, unahin mo na yan. Pagka marami na kayong practice, pwedeng kahit anong unahin mo. Okay? So, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tapos, merong isang branching chain dito. Yan. Okay? So, you have 5 carbon atoms. Tapos, ito yung branch niya. Another carbon atom. Okay. Next example. So, convert the complete structure into a skeletal structure. As you can see, merong cyclic alkane. So, drawing nyo muna yung cyclic alkane. 5 carbon ring. Ano talaga mag-drawing na kahit shapes. Okay? And then, after madrawing yung cyclic alkane, lagay nyo yung branch na yan. Okay? So, you have 1, 2, 3. By the way, baka malito po kayo, bakit nag-start ako ng 1 dito? Remember, itong carbon na to, ayan, hindi sila isang carbon with this branch. Okay? So, kapag cyclic alkane, doon kayo, pag ano kayo mag-start, yung 1, hindi yung sa on the dot ng paper. Pero pagka kayo ay acyclic alkane mag-start, or yung acyclic alkane yung drawing nyo, kailangan on the dot ng paper, ng ballpen, magka-count na kayo ng carbon. Okay? Baka po may question so far. Naming na tayo next tayo sa naming. So, kung meron kayong question sa pag-draw, sa pag-classify ng carbon atoms, i-message nyo lang, comment down below. Walang question? Easy? Okay, so if you don't have question, let's proceed with the naming. So, yung... Ay, nabubura siya. Okay, yung naming, we have what you call yung IUPAC system of nomenclature. So, when we say IUPAC system of nomenclature, this is the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So, lahat ng names, ng drugs, ng chemicals, lahat yan ina-approve ng IUPAC. Sila yung body, na international body for approving yung names ng mga drugs. Okay? And as we have said earlier, as we have said sa PT, hindi lahat naman ng drugs ay shabu at saka marijuana lang. Lahat ng drugs will encompass the chemicals or yung mga pwedeng medicines din. Okay? They can be beneficial and, well, yung iba, kung not taken in moderation, so dangerous din siya. Okay? So, yung IUPAC system of nomenclature provides a system of naming organic compounds. By the way, not only organic compounds, but also most of the compounds under siya ng IUPAC name. So, next time na maka-discover kayo ng drug or ng chemical, kung kayo yung manalo sa pag-discover ng vaccine, yung contest ni President Duterte, ng maggawa ng vaccine sa COVID. So, i-subject nyo pa siya sa IUPAC, System of Naming. Hindi pwede naka-name after yourself kapag in terms of chemistry. Pero in biological aspects kasi, kalimitan ng mga scientists, kapag nakaka-discover ng mga animals, pinapangalan sa sarili nila. Okay? But in terms of IUPAC, kailangan general siya. Okay? And then, using the IUPAC system, each organic compound gets a unique and unambiguous name. And then, of course, most drugs, they have 3 names. Okay? Ano ba yun? Yung systematic name, syempre naka-base siya sa IUPAC. Ito yung common language for chemists. Kaya pagka halimbawa, kulang yung may shortage ng gamot, basta alam ng chemist yung IUPAC name, they can synthesize the drug or yung pharmacist. Okay? And then for generic naman, it is internationally approved name of the drug. Example is ibuprofen. So, kumbaga ito yung pwedeng pang-classify din, yung mga generic name. Kasi diba yung most of the ibuprofen, they are for pain relievers, yung nag-relieve ng swelling. So, yun yung generic name. And then, for trade name naman, ito yung name assigned by the company that manufactures the drug. Ito yung kalimitang ginagamit ng public. So, example, Biogesic. So, ito yung mga madaling tandaan dapat ng public. Kasi imagine kung, di ba, bibili, ang Biogesic kasi, ang name na is acetyl aminophenol. Okay, yung IUPAC name niya. So, imagine if bibili ka sa tindahan ng Biogesic, pero sabihin mo yung IUPAC name. So, pabili nga po atin ng acetyl aminophenol. Baka masampal ka ng tindera. That is why yung drugs are also named. Meron din silang trade name. Kung ano yung madaling tandaan. Okay, actually there is meron akong isang experience sa coffee shop. So, kapag akong gumagawa ng thesis, tapos meron akong katapat na table, and then nag-explain siya. I think he is a networking agent. I have nothing against networking agents. Okay? So, tapos, yung networking aid, dahil chismosang kapitbahay ako, nagpapanggap na akong gumawa ng thesis. So, nakikinig ako sa usapan. Chismos ko talaga. E di, nakikinig ako sa usapan nila. Tapos, yung networking agent, meron siyang binibentang vitamins. Tapos, alam kong vitamin C siya kasi nung nabanggit niya yung IUPAC name, yung vitamin C, sabi ko, ano ba naman yan? Vitamin C lang. Tapos ayaw pang sabihin na vitamin C lang. So, kumbaga, he used his knowledge about the IUPAC name para, alam mo yun, syempre, alam naman yung mga tao kapag nakakalim ng mga kakaibang words ng science, natatakot sila or nagpapanik sila or pwedeng mamangha sila dun sa nagsasalita. Okay? So, parang, sabi ko, naluloko tong naluloko yung client niya kasi vitamin C lang naman yun eh. Parang pinaganda lang niya yung name. Pero it's the same as other vitamins. So, dahil chismosang kapitbahay ako, nag-search ako. Vitamin C nga yun, ganun nga. So, ang lesson learned lang doon, kapag when you have scientific knowledge, particularly sa names ng drugs, at kayo ay mga businessman, you don't use it. You can use your knowledge in science to show off sa mga science people, like what I'm doing with you right now. Okay? Pero, you don't use your scientific knowledge to take advantage of other people na hindi naman nakaline sa science. Kasi some of the people ng science, they use their knowledge to deceive people. Okay? So, sana in the future, hindi kayo ganun na mag-deceive ng ibang tao para mabenta yung product. Kasi at the end, baka ng vitamins lang din yung bibili mo ka, mahal-mahal pa. Meron namang 5 pesos lang na vitamin C. Okay? So, going back sa IUPAC name, okay? So, alkane, yung IUPAC system of naming is also can be used for naming alkanes. Okay? Since alkane is an organic compound. Ano ba yung guidelines in naming alkanes? Wait lang. Okay? So, in the names of alkanes with substituents, ano ba yung substituents? Substituents are the branch ng main. Di ba sabi ko kayo na merong main branch? Kumbaga merong parent branch. Merong parent, basta yung main branch. Okay? Yung main branch, kung meron siyang branching chain, that is what we call substituents. Okay? Ito yung mga branch. Branch of main chain. Okay? So, ano ba yung meron sa names ng alkane? Syempre, you have the parent name. So, later I will be discussing how will you get the parent name, ano yung suffix, ano yung prefix. But always remember in this discussion, the suffix that we will be using would be A and E. Kasi alkanes naman yung pinag-uusapan. Okay? So, yung names ng alkanes with substituents have the three parts: parent name, suffix, and prefix. Okay po. Baka may questions so far. And then, paano mo naman mag-name ng substituents? So, yung substituents are called alkyl groups. And these alkyl groups are formed by removing one hydrogen from an alkane. So, later, I will show you. Tapos, kanina, di ba sabi ko sa inyo, ang suffix of naming alkanes would be A and E. So, if substituents are present, the substituents, instead of using A and E in their as a suffix, you will use yung YL kasi alkyl. Okay? So, each alkyl group has a bond that can then be attached to something else later. Again, so, ano ba yung sasabi ko? As you can see dito, kapag one yung substituent, merong yung branch, merong isang carbon atom, as you can see, yung suffix niya is YL. And yung inattach pa rin sa kanya ay yung met. Okay? So, we have methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl, pentyl, and hexyl. Kung ano pa rin yung polygon, ganun pa din kapag 5 or more carbons. Okay, let's work on some examples. So, suppose, yung una mo ng step, if you are given the compound, you are given the structure, so find the parent carbon chain. Ano ba yung parent carbon chain? Ito yung longest continuous carbon chain dun sa molecule. Okay? So, if you will look at this molecule, ang longest carbon chain, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ano ba yung polygon na may 6 sides? Hexagon. But instead of using con as your suffix, you replace it with A and E. Kaya the parent carbon chain is called hexane. Okay? But don't forget please don't forget na hindi laging straight yung chain. Possible na yung iba, halimbawa, ayan, straight yung chain, possible yung iba, naliko, or pwedeng basta ganyan. Hindi siya laging straight chain, yung longest carbon chain. Okay, kasi yung iba, pagka nagsisimula pa lang sa chemistry, ito na yung ginagawang parent chain. Tapos ito, binabaliwala na. Okay? Halimbawa, another example, ito lang yung tinitingnan, pero if you will count the longest carbon chain, hindi lang siya 3 carbon molecule. Okay? Yung iba kasi patingin-tingin lang kung sino yung nandyan, pero mamaya yung para sa'yo pala nasa malayo pa. Okay? Mahaba pa lang way papunta sa kanya. So, huwag kayong magmadali. Okay? Dami ka naman hugot for today. Okay, after, again, yung first step, you have to determine the longest carbon chain or the parent carbon chain. Okay, next one, you have to do, working on the same example, 6 carbon chain pa rin yan. Number the atoms of the carbon chain, and then you should give the first substituent to the lower number. Okay, so again, as you can see dito, ito yung parent chain ninyo. And then you have to number this carbon, yung carbon 1 to 6, since 6 carbon chain siya. So how we know where to start? Kapag sa left kayo, you will give this substituent a lower number. Okay, lowest possible number dapat yung nasa substituent. Pag naman kasi dito kasi sa left side, nasa carbon 2 yung substituent. Pero sa right side, nasa carbon number 5. So you have to choose yung numbering na magbibigay ng lowest possible number sa substituent. Okay? And then, next one, name and number the substituent. So, always remember yung substituent, they are alkyl groups. Okay? So, use the numbers from step 2 to designate their location. So, di ba ito yung, remember yung itong substituent, nasa carbon 2 siya. So, ano ba yung substituent? Ilang carbon atoms? Isa lang. Remember, if it is a substituent, kung 1 carbon atom, therefore, methyl yung name niya. Okay? So, ito, nasa dapat siya ay 2-methyl. Okay? Hindi pa tapos yung naming. Okay? After naming the substituent, what you will be doing is attach the parent chain. Okay, yung name ng parent chain. Di ba? Yung kayo na 2-methyl and then you have here yung parent chain which is hexane. Therefore, yung name ng compound is 2-methylhexane. Baka po may question. Baka kailangan mag-internalize. Ay, Rabaskon, pwede ka nang hindi umatin sa klaseng to. Teacher mo ko ng 1 taon dito. Okay. What about kapag ka naman merong, ito kasing example na to ay may isang substituent lang. Okay? What about those compounds containing 2 or more substituents? Okay? Ito yung isang example. So you have here still 6 carbon atoms, 6 carbon atoms, and then if yun pa rin yung longest chain, and as you can see, dalawa yung substituent. Okay? Yung isang substituent nasa carbon 2, yung isa ay nasa carbon 3. And both of those substituents are methyl. So in that case, what you will be doing, so ilista nyo yung number muna, carbon 2, and then you have carbon 3, separate them with commas, and then ilan ba yung substituent na magkapareho or identical? You have 2, kaya di. Ano yung name ng substituent? Methyl. Okay, that's why this compound is 2,3-dimethylhexane. Okay. Yun po ay pagka magkapareho yung type ng substituents. So kapag in case lang na 3, edi gawin nyo yung tri. Pag 4, tetra. Basta you have to indicate kung nasa ang carbon, ano yung number ng carbon na nandun yung substituent. Okay? And then, what if naman kung yung isang substituent ay methyl, yung isang substituent ay ethyl? So in case that there are combination ng substituent, you have to alphabetize the substituents ignoring the prefixes, and then precede the name of each substituent by the number that indicates its location, and there must be 1 number for each substituent. Aside from that, separate numbers by commas and separate numbers from letters by dashes. Nasa book nyo yan. Let's work on this example. Okay, so in this example, again, follow the steps. Ano ba yung una? Yun yung find the parent chain. So yung parent chain dito, pwede namang trial and error pagka hindi pa kayo sanay. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So pwede nga yung chain, 8 carbon compound. But you check for other ways. Okay? So pwede rin naman na 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So hindi siya pwede kasi 7 siya. Dapat longest carbon chain. So in that case, what your parent chain would be this one. Okay? So, since siya ay 8 carbon compound or 8 carbon chain, ang name ng parent chain would be tane. Okay? Tapos, next step is you have to assign numbers dun sa carbon. So, you can start with left or right, but remember, you have to give the lowest possible number sa substituents. So, in that case, kung lowest number, you can start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? As you can see, yung substituent na una, nasa lowest possible number. Kasi pag dito ka nag-start sa right side, nasa carbon 3 pa. Okay? Always remember that you have to give the lowest possible number to the substituents. Okay? So in that case, after assigning the numbers dun sa carbon atoms, you have to determine ano ba yung location or ano ba yung mga substituents na present dun sa mga numbered carbon atoms. Okay? So, dun sa carbon number 2, ano ba yung kanyang merong isang substituent. How many carbon atoms ang substituent? You have 1. Kaya ang main substituent is methyl. Okay? And then, for carbon number 5, so as you can see, meron din siyang isang substituent. And then, dalawa yung carbon atoms ng substituent. Kaya this is ethyl. Okay? And then, for carbon 6 naman, isa rin yung substituent niya na may isang carbon atom. So, this is methyl. Okay? So, for you to arrange the name ng compound, you have to arrange it alphabetically disregarding the prefixes, if possible. If meron na, if applicable yung prefixes. So, in terms of this one, syempre, mauuna yung ethyl. So, you have here 5-ethyl. And then, ano ba yung name ng, ano yung next substituents? You have 2 and number 5. Ay, 2 and number 6 pala, sorry. So, 5-ethyl, 2,6-dimethyl, octane. Okay? Baka may question, bakit naging ganyan yung name. Imagine niyo kung may ganyan kasing gamot. So, pag bibili kayo sa tindahan, tapos pabili nga po ng 5-ethyl, 2,6-dimethyl, octane. This is a gas pala, sorry. Octane. So, this is a gas. Kapag gasolina kayo sa akin, sabihin, ay, pagas po ng dimethyl octane. Awkward. Okay? Baka may question sa naming. May space po ba sa mga dash and commas? Wala. Wala dapat space. So, kunwari walang space to. Kabaan natin siya. Wala yung space. Okay? And then, some of you might wonder, yung problem 12.10 ata. 12.10 ata. Hindi ko kasi hawak yung book, pero ganito ata yung example. So, you have CH3, tapos CH2. Ay, teka. So, CH. Pakicheck nga kung tama yun. 12.10 ata siya. Page 400 plus. Pakihanap. CH2, tapos CH3. 2, 3. Okay. So, ito yung isa kayong naging question kung paano daw pag ganyan. Kasi, tama ba yung example? Dito ata ito. Tapos CH, tapos CH3. I'm not sure. Pero ganito ata yung example kanina. Okay. So, dito, if you will look at this compound, so, pwede, di ba, unang step, you have to determine the parent compound. So, in this case, pwedeng ito siya. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? But if you will check, kung i-rewrite natin yung compound, CH3, CH2, CH, tapos fake news ko naman today. So, you have CH3, tapos CH2, CH, CH, CH3. Bakit yun na nga yung practice problem 12.10? Hindi ko sure eh. Okay. But if you will look at the molecule, pwede rin kasi na ito yung parent compound. Yung nakalikod. Okay, so how will you, ano yung pipiliin ninyo dyan? How will you choose the parent compound? Kahit alin naman dyan. Pero be careful with the substituent. Kung same pa din ba? Okay? Or siya ba talaga yung longest chain? Hindi pa rin substituent. Tignan nyo lang, kahit alin dyan yung piliin ninyo, kasi you will arrive at the same answer. Pero, make sure that it is the longest chain na present. Okay? So, in this example, you will arrive at the same answer. So, let's have the first one. So, after nyo i-determine yung longest chain, edi lagyan nyo ng number. This would be carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bakit dito nag-start sa right? Kasi, nagbibigay siya ng lowest possible number dun sa lowest possible number of substituents. Okay? And then, in this case, you have here, ang parent name, ang parent chain, ang name ay pentane. And then, nasa ano yung mga substituent, sa carbon 2, you have methyl. Sa carbon 3, this is methyl. Okay, so dalawang methyl, nasaan po? Nasa carbon 2 and 3. So, ang name ng compound is 2,3-dimethyl pentane. Okay? And then the other parent chain, if you will observe, so mag-accelerate kayo number. This is carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So another one is pentane. Ano yung mga substituents sa carbon 2? Merong methyl. Sa carbon 3, meron pa ding methyl. Okay? And then, since pareho silang methyl, you still have 2,3-dimethyl pentane. Okay? So, there are those cases na merong parent chain na yung isa naka-straight, yung isa ay naka-bent. You will arrive at the same answer, most likely. Okay, basta sure kayo na yun yung longest chain. Okay? Baka may question so far. Kaya if we go back dun sa previous example, yung kanina, bakit pinili ko yung naka-bent na chain compared dun sa ito, sa example na to. Okay? Yung sa isopentane. Okay, so if you will view it this one, pwede kasi yung isipin ng iba, ito na yung parent chain. Okay? Pero if you will analyze yung buong compound, you will see na hindi pa siya yung longest chain. Okay? So, ano yung longest chain? You will have here, ito. Okay, siya yung longest chain. Basta common misconception lagi yun naman sisimula sa org-chem na yung parent chain, ang ginagawa nila yung naka-straight lang. Pero remember, not all parent chains ay straight. Okay, yung iba naka-bend. Okay, so in this example, ano yung name ng molecule? Parent name is butane. Tapos, you can assign numbers dun sa carbon. So, this is carbon 1, 2, 3, 4. Ay, nasa carbon 2, yung substituent. Ang substituent is methyl. Then, you have 2-methyl butane. Okay. Baka may question? Kung wala, let's work on some examples. So, another example here, you have to count ano yung longest carbon chain. So, pwedeng trial and error. Pwede yung 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or pwede rin naman kayo mag-start dito. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, yung parent chain ay syempre yung longest carbon chain, yung 10 carbon chain. So, ito yung parent chain. Okay, and then assign numbers na that will give lowest possible number of carbon, lowest possible number to the substituents. Dito, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? And then, itignan kung ano yung name ng mga substituent. Sa carbon number 4, dalawa yung carbon atoms ng substituent. So, this is ethyl. Okay, so siya lang yung substituent, if I'm not mistaken. Siya lang. And then, you write name. 4-ethyl decane. Okay po. And then next one, next example. So again, bilang ulit ng parent chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Octane. Or itry nyo rin yung iba. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hindi pwede. Mas marami pa rin yung octane. So, ito yung magiging parent chain. So, the parent chain would be this one. And then, again, assign numbers to give the substituents the lowest possible number. Start sa right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tapos, classify name the substituents na present sa carbon 3. You have one substituent na may isang carbon atom. So, this is methyl. Sa carbon 4, you have two substituents. Hindi pwedeng pagsamahin yung nasa magkaibang side. This is one substituent and this another substituent. Okay? So, yung unang substituent sa upper, this is methyl. And then sa lower, this is ethyl. Since dalawa yung carbon atoms. Okay? Always remember na hindi pwedeng, kung nasa magkaibang side sila, hindi sila pwedeng pagsamahin in terms of name. Wag pagsamahin ng hindi dapat pagsamahin. Okay? So, ano ba yung name ng parent chain? It would be octane kasi 8 carbon atom chain. And then, for the substituents, dahil marami sila, alphabetical. Okay? Alphabetical, mauna yung ethyl. So, you have 4-ethyl. And then, number 3, 4, dimethyl octane. Okay po, baka may questions sa pag-name ng alkanes. Okay, so dito naman sa isang example, given naman yung IUPAC name, you have to draw the complete structure. So yung dito na, pagka kasi kalimitan pag given yung IUPAC name tapos drawing, yung carbon 1 lagi nag-i-start sa left. Okay? And then, yung kagaya pa rin dati, kapag given yung formula tapos kailangan nyo provide ng structure, you have to count muna ilan ba yung carbon atoms. So in this case, hexane siya. So 6 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Para maganda dito yung isang 6. Okay po. So kung complete structure, kailangan show nyo yung bonding patterns or yung skeletal structure. Okay? Pero bago nyo i-attach yung hydrogen atoms, i-attach nyo muna yung substituent. So dito ay 3-methyl, merong isang substituent sa carbon 3. Ilan yung carbon ng substituents? Isa. This is carbon 1, 2, 3. Dito naka-attach yung substituent. Okay? And then, attach the hydrogen atoms. Ako lang ang pwedeng gumawa nito shortcut. Po. Siyempre, dapat sa inyo itong gagawin nyo yung naka-bond pa rin yung hydrogen. Okay? Baka may question. So far, tama ba yung ginawa kong structure? CH3, CH2. Okay. Next one, you have 3-ethyl, 4-methyl hexane. Still, you have 6 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, after that, i-attach mo na yung mga carbon atoms na kailangan, ay yung mga substituents. So, nasa carbon 3, ethyl, dalawang carbon, and then sa carbon 4, isang carbon. Actually, pagka naman ganyan, kahit nasa baba, yung nasa carbon 4, okay lang naman. Maarte lang ako, kaya gusto ko nakaganyan. Okay? So, after that, ma-attach yung substituent, attach na yung hydrogen. This is CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, CH3. Okay, baka may question. Next one. 3,3-dimethyl pentane. So, 5 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. May question, Miss, paano po malalaman kung mag-start ka sa left or right po ng substituent? Kapag ka nagdodraw ka, kapag given yung name ng compound, mag-start lagi sa kapag given yung name ng compound, tapos kailangan mo i-drawing yung structure, you always have to start sa left. Okay? Tapos, kapag naman given yung structure, kailangan mo mag-name, hahanapin mo kung nasan yung site na pwede magbigay ng lowest possible number dun sa substituent. So, you have to try kung yung left lang bibigay ng lowest possible number or yung right lang bibigay ng lowest possible number. Okay po. Yun po yung paano malalaman kung mag-start ka sa left or right ng substituent. Okay? So, for this example, 3,3-dimethyl pentane. So, sa carbon 3, meron kang dalawang substituent, parehong methyl. So, carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3. And then, attach yung substituents, dalawang carbon. And then, attach yung hydrogen. So, CH3, CH2. Tapos, ito wala ng H. CH3, CH3, CH2, CH2. Question so far sa pag-draw ng acyclic alkane. Baka po may question kasi ang next na ay cyclic alkane. Ang alam, based sa feedback ng Prosimo, parang ito yung first lesson ng college. Organic chem agad. Okay, so kung wala pong question, I will proceed with simple cycloalkanes. Ayun, question. Miss, paano po yung hindi shortcut na version ng drawing? Grabe naman to. Papatrabahuin pa ako. Okay, paano yung hindi shortcut na version? Yung hindi po shortcut na version, so if we work on this example, then pa din, kagaya ng last time, you have to determine kung ba yung carbon atom. So in this case, pentane siya. So 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, tapos, again, draw yung substituent muna. Sa carbon 3, dalawa. Okay? Yung hindi shortcut, kapag masipag, edi ganyan. H. Ayan, ganyan. Sipag ko eh. Ayan, H. Yan po yung hindi shortcut na version. Complete structure. Okay po? Try nyo na lang i-drawing yung mga ito. Pero yan yung complete structure. Kalimitan pagka-exam ganyan yung pinapagawa ko. Bawal to. Okay? So, for the next one ay cycloalkanes. So, yung cycloalkanes naman, again, as I have said earlier, meron silang rings. Okay? So, ang kaibahan lang ng cycloalkanes with acyclic alkane sa naming, syempre yung cycloalkane, merong cyclo sa unahan. Tapos, yun pa rin number ng carbon at saka yung prefix na AN. Yung triangle, edi cyclopropane siya. Yung square, cyclobutane. Okay? So, next time na parang para medyo intellectual kayo, pinakita nyo, ano shape to? Cyclobutane yan. Okay, and then another example, 5 carbon ring, cyclopentane, tapos ang 6 carbon ring is cyclohexane. Okay? If ever na sa compound may present na mga substituent, how you name yung acyclic alkane, almost the same din naman with cyclic alkanes. Okay? Yung una muna, of course, find the parent cycloalkane. In this example, you have here a 6 carbon ring, kaya cyclohexane. Okay? After that, Name and number the substituent. Always remember na pag isa lang yung substituent ng cycloalkane, there is no need to assign the number dun sa mga carbon atoms. So in this example, you have here one substituent na methyl, so you don't need to put number 1 dun sa kung nasa nakakabit yung substituent. Therefore, ang name is methyl cyclohexane. And then, for this example, you have the parent cycloalkane, which is cyclopentane, and then yung substituent ay 4 carbon atoms, therefore siya ay butyl cyclopentane. Okay? And then, for rings with 2 or more substituents, remember these rules. Begin numbering at 1 substituent, and then proceed around the ring to give the second substituent the lower number. And for 2 different substituents, number the ring to assign the lower number to the substituents alphabetically. So yung sa akin nating example, ito, yung isa ay methyl, yung isa ay ethyl, you provide or you assign the number to the substituents alphabetically. So, syempre, mauna yung ethyl. Yun yung carbon 1. Tapos, dapat yung sunod na substituent, lowest possible number pa din. So, 1, 2, pag ganun yung rotation. Okay, that's why. And then, on how you write the names kanina, ganun pa din. 1 ethyl, 3 methyl, cyclohexane. Okay po. In case na parehas naman, edi kahit alin yung carbon 1, basta lowest possible number ng substituent. Pwedeng paganyan yung rotation, pwede rin naman paganyan yung rotation. Okay? So, naming pa rin 1,3-dimethyl cyclohexane. Okay, let's work on some examples. So, ito ang parent cycloalkane is cyclobutane. Tapos, isa lang yung substituent niya, so no need to assign numbers. Kaya, ano ba yung substituent? This is methyl. So, ang name ng compound is methyl cyclobutane. Okay po. Baka may question so far. Next example, ito, CH3 po ito. Okay? Itong example na yan, CH3, dalawa yung substituent niya in this case. But they are located on the same carbon. So, dahil dalawa yung substituent, you still have to assign the number. Okay, so ito yung number 1. Yan yung substituent. So, ang naming niyan would be 1,1-dimethyl cyclohexane. Okay po. Baka may question. And then another example here, you have here yung parent cycloalkane, which is cyclopentane. And then you have 2 different substituents. You assign yung lowest number dun sa alphabetically. So, this one is ethyl. Ito ay propyl. Okay, so this would be 1, carbon 1, 2, 3. Okay, tapos write alphabetically, you have 1 ethyl, and then 3 propyl. Ano yung parent chain? It would be cyclopentane. Okay, so 1 ethyl, 3 propyl, cyclopentane. Question so far? Baka po may question. Actually, hanggang dun na po ang lecture. Gen Chem 2. This is my last lecture. Question so far? Wala pong question? Kung wala pong question, yung Miguel, you have to stay for around 5 to 10 minutes. I will be discussing yung grades that will be uploaded. And then for Vinyl, you can leave the meeting. Buyers! Miss, yung problem set na PDF ko sa Alkane, hindi ko na yung busan. Aayusin ko siya mamaya after ito meeting na. Wala na bang Benilde na present? Paki-check naman. Ano bang Benilde? Benilde people, you can leave na po. Meron pa bang Benilde? Okay, wala na daw. So, yung grades ninyo would be uploaded on Friday. Pero uh, I can show you your grades on Thursday. Okay? Yung paano yung in case na meron kayong question, okay lang din naman na i-on nyo po yung mic ninyo